Right here in Bettendorf, and I figured I would bring in some extra special Bettendorf people to help join me today. We've got Miss Ball of Energy herself, Julie Martin here from, is it Energy Balls? Energy Balls. I messed that up. You've been on the show a million times.
Right.
Energy Balls.
Well, we thought you'd never ask.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Energy
Yes.
Balls, and we have here formerly the Quad Cities, I would say, not just Bettendorf, the former Quad Cities top cop and the city administrator for Bettendorf, and not some dry, empty soul city administrator. We've got Decker Plain here. He brings the heat. And and then I think Craig's going to pop in. Craig Wagner, the owner of Tangled.
Awesome.
He's going to stop in here and say hi. So thanks for joining me. I figured we'd have some fun lunch here at Tanglewood. The first one.
Is Craig buying this
Perfect.
lunch?
Craig is buying this lunch.
This is awesome.
Yeah, he doesn't know that yet, but he's buying this lunch. Hence why I wanted to invite him into the table.
Yeah,
right?
Well,
smart.
he's buying.
We could slip him the tab.
He should get a little.
Oh, thank you guys for joining me. And Decker, we were talking off camera.
Yeah.
So let's introduce everybody to you. Because honestly, the only way I know you is a carnival barker. I see you at all these events, all these fundraising events, all these wonderful things for different Quad City organizations. And I've always just known you as the showman.
Yeah.
And I love a good promoter, right? I love a promoter. And so anyway, I had no idea you were the police chief for a bazillion years.
Well, not a bazillion years. I was a police officer for 15 years, and my last 4 was as police chief. Finishing and retiring in 1990. So probably before you were born, definitely before Parker was born.
Julie, that was 1 year before the Enter Sandman Metallica album came out.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
Very.
Aging me there.
You retired 1 year before anyone ever heard Enter Sandman.
That's right. I had to, I couldn't shoot worth a crap, and they said, well, let's get this guy in an administrative role so he doesn't hurt somebody. So they made me city administrator. On April Fool's Day, 1990, so not that, my anniversary was just a week or so ago, right?
Did they get you a cake or anything? Or?
No, just said, let's take over and start steering the ship. So,
Let's keep rolling.
Yeah.
And you don't have any intentions of slowing down.
Not personally, no. I mean, unless the body, craps out, I'm going for a while.
Well, you stay on that Nordic track skier every morning.
I was
right?
I was in the gym yesterday, not this morning. So, but my level of workout compared to other people, it's a relative term, workout,
Well, this show is all about plugging people. What gym do you go to?
QC Performance.
Oh, we love those guys.
Those guys, I went there 4 years ago because I got a really arthritic hip and I couldn't play golf very well, and I went to a couple spine guys about trying to get surgery, and they said, you don't need surgery, you just got arthritis in your hip, you got to get stretched and you got to open up. So I'm playing, I wouldn't say I'm playing a great golf, but I'm playing golf without pain, which was the object of the whole deal.
There we go.
Do you go to a gym or do you work out just at home?
No, I go to TBK. But I did just receive a new treadmill from Treadmill Heroes.
Well, yeah.
That felt good. Say that one more time. Say that one more time. Yeah, yes. Your friends at Treadmill Heroes. You're locally owned and operated. Quad City money staying in the Quad Cities,
so
by
I
the way.
do sometimes go in the basement, yes. And I also am going to say something about Decker, which I know he won't say. And while we are plugging things, I'm on Friends of Bettendorf Parks and Rec. And Decker, yes, you may see that he does a lot for the city. He's paid by the city, but he does a lot of personal things for our organization, and I know has made some personal donations as well, and has always really supported us, and has helped make our group really successful. So I am gonna say thank you to him on air here.
Yeah, I can just, in the few years that I've been around Decker, we're like talking behind his back, in front of his back.
We'll do it.
But I've always really admired your passion up on stage, doing whatever you can to just move the ball down the field for whatever organization you're involved with. And I think you've done a really good job of leveraging your relationships out there in a very positive way of bringing all these people together. Just kind of cool.
I like doing it. I mean, nobody has more fun emceeing and auctioneering an event than me. I love making people pucker up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Or better yet, get them to jump in and let's bid $1,000 more here. Come on, man. You're in the game now. Come on, you're in the game. You're not gonna let me loose now.
In past years, how did Festival of Trees end up, in your opinion? this year?
We typically raise about $40,000 in that hour and a half.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah, it's and you've been there. It's
That's
the
like a
zaniest-
fresh 40 outside of anything that has come in. In that hour and a half,
Yeah.
you got 40K coming
Yeah,
in.
exactly. And it's a wild zany time. And I started out emceeing that event, I think almost at the inception, not quite. I think it was the third year. So like 35 years I've been emceeing that event. And we started, it wasn't really a fundraiser to start. We turned it into a fundraiser. It was just a celebration of the festival. And they had celebrity waiters. And the very first year that they had that, I was police chief and was a celebrity waiter. And Bill Wandrum and Tom Getz were the two MCs. And after like the third year, both of those guys said, we don't have the energy for this, and you can do it a lot better, so you should do it. So I started doing it. It's been just so much fun. A lot of zaniness in that hour and a half.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Do you remember Bill Wandrum?
Oh yeah.
I mean, did you ever meet him?
I met him. I don't really recall like the meeting of it, but yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, as a kid growing up on
Yeah.
the outskirts of the Quad Cities, the personalities within the Quad Cities, when I reflect back on it now, were some intriguing personalities and characters, right? And Bill Wandrum was always this guy, you saw his headshot in the picture, and then he'd write a column in the Quad City Times, and I never met the guy, but I remember when he died, I was like, huh, that's kind of sad, like I remember that guy, and I don't know if I read many of his articles.
He had this cute little voice, and he called me. I remember he called me one day saying, "Hey, buddy, I need you to come over and do this article with me. So I'm gonna pick you up, and then we'll talk about it." Okay. And then he'd drive around. And then
So he wasn't just some guy sitting in an office. He'd get out there. He'd get out and beat the streets and.
Well, he did with me a couple times, and articles appeared. And I was always more of a behind-the-scenes voice for him that he didn't know or he didn't understand. So yeah, he was a great guy. And Tom Getz owned at the time Moline Forge and Williams White on the Illinois side, and Tom moved to Bettendorf for a while and was on our Civil Service Commission. That's how I met Tom and his wife Karen. They were instrumental in the beginning of the whole Festival of Trees start, and then Karen helped us with our Children's Museum, the Family Museum, as we started that up. She was on that group of folks that helped plan that and start that. It was great fun.
Was that a thing for you growing up, Julie? Did you go was that like a family
Festival of
outing?
Trees. Yeah, everybody went to it. I mean, it still has stayed so popular, but yeah, we went all the time. Just right after, what was it, right before Thanksgiving. It was just what you did.
Yeah,
great.
I'd never heard of it until my
Till you got
adulthood.
here, yeah.
Yeah. So they were
you
like,
go.
hey, you want to come down here and shoot some video?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Okay, so Decker, being the city admin for 39 years, what have you noticed
36.
36.
Don't get any older than I am.
Yeah, the biggest change from the beginning to now. And I'm curious if like technology had any big part in just how much that's evolved over the years.
I wouldn't say technology's been the biggest driver.
Okay.
Truth be known, there's probably a couple reasons why we've grown so rapidly. Both school districts are a huge attraction. Bettendorf, with all of its history and the main school district, and then Pleasant Valley kind of grew up right around it. But that's how most people move here, is because of the quality of both those school districts. And then that kind of started to drive the growth that we started to experience. And the biggest change is downtown Bettendorf. J.I. Case used to be on the riverfront where the casino is now. And there were 2,500, 2,800 factory workers down
What's
there.
J.I. Case?
It was a tractor company, Case Company.
Okay.
Major tractor manufacturer. And they were all through the Quad Cities. Actually, they had a big plant in Rock Island.
Hold that thought, Decker.
All right.
We got to eat. We're going to order some food.
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine, because I want to hear about that, but we got to get some food in us before we collapse here.
Would you like to throw in any sort of appetizers to start?
You want her to surprise us? Surprise us with an appetizer,
we
Ella.
go.
But we'll order something here.
Nothing,
do you know what you
nothing
want?
spicy.
I know this menu, so I know.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Decker, you come here quite a bit,
Yeah, I
don't
do.
you? Julie,
Yeah.
you
We
come here all the
know.
time?
Yeah, we know it.
We're just down around the corner. We love coming here.
Yeah.
Don't we have to eat healthy if you're on the air, don't you?
No,
Oh.
not at all. Who do we have to impress?
That's
right?
true.
I'm gonna go ahead. I don't, Julie.
Nope,
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah, I didn't want to race you or force you guys to hurry up.
I know it.
You know what? I'm just gonna try a good old cheeseburger.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
make me like a bacon mushroom Swiss cheeseburger. How about that? And you guys got sweet potato fries?
We do.
Oh.
We do.
Well, what more could you ask for?
Here we go.
Right? And a surprise appetizer.
And surprise appetizer. I can do that.
Like I said, we're gonna slip
And
this under
could I
Craig's
please
name.
have the Carolina salad?
Carolina salad, absolutely. And then they recommend that with barbecue ranch.
Perfect.
Is that all right?
That sounds great. Thank
So
you.
Ella used to be an Energy ball roller.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, isn't that great?
You didn't
I
know
get
Julie
all
was
the
coming
best.
today.
I did.
I know.
Oh,
I was a surprise guest.
I bet you have had a ton of high school girls
Oh
working
yeah.
for you over the
well,
last few
yeah,
years.
or college, and I have a ton of like athletes. I get a lot of the Augustana athletes, and they come and help me. You weren't from Augustana, but I just knew you through your sister. So.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
My little sister played volleyball.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I know.
I'll tell you what, I've probably eaten 100,000 Energy balls at this point in my life.
Good.
Decker, what are you getting
Keep
to
it
eat?
going.
I'm gonna have the southern fried chicken salad, but no jalapeno.
No jalapeno.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then instead of the barbecue ranch, can I have like blue cheese or just regular ranch
Yeah, absolutely.
on the side?
Ella, while we got you, off the top of your head, what's a super popular thing that people order to eat here?
Ooh. The thing that comes right off the top of my head, I can't spoil it because I'm going to bring it for your appetizer.
Oh,
However,
okay. All right.
However, a second, I would say the Chick-fil-A sandwich is super popular.
What's it called?
The Chick-fil-A sandwich, right over here.
Oh, the Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yes.
All right.
It's a better version of the Chick-fil-A sandwich.
So
in
that's
essence.
what people should ask for when they come here.
Nice.
Just compete with
Okay.
them.
Yeah,
All right,
throw the
yeah.
gauntlet down.
All right.
Take that,
Ella.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that. Come
Yeah.
get some.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I will be back
38
for that
guys in the
appetizer.
drive-up lane.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so
anyways,
go on.
J.I. Case was a tractor manufacturer. Their plant was the former Bettendorf brothers plant. That part of it's still standing on the far east end of the property. And they had 2,800 workers working there. We had 21 bars in downtown Bettendorf. Because if you think about it, back then, you know, those workers would either
off.
on their break or after work head into the bar. That's why they'd cash their checks on Friday nights. It was just a crazy time.
That's not a figure of speech. Literally, you could take your paycheck
Yeah.
into the
That's
bar
where,
and cash it.
that's where most of them got cashed.
That's just to think of that in today's day and age.
Yeah.
Like to
Yep.
walk in
Oh,
with your
yeah.
paycheck to the bar and be
Yeah.
like, cash this and put it
Yeah.
towards some beer.
Because there weren't, you know, there wasn't payroll deduction, you know, none of that was going on. So guys would go in there, they'd cash their checks, and some guys would drink the whole check
whole
away.
paycheck.
Yeah, you know, and holy cow, going home that night wasn't fun. My grandma owned a tavern in downtown, in central Davenport, and she'd say, I'll cash your check, but I'm only going to give you $5 or $10 to drink on, and I'll call your wife to come get the rest. And they'd say, I don't want that. And they'd say, then I'm not cashing your check. You know, I'm not going to have you drink it away. So,
You know what?
so downtown
Yeah.
was really kind of confined and small, and there wasn't anything out north. I mean, Tanglefoot
yeah.
Lane
Yeah.
was this, when I became a cop. That was when you were out past Tanglefoot Lane. That was
You were
as
in
far
the
as it
country.
went.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so none of this growth. None
It's
of
the
this.
horse farm at the.
This was a
stoplight
gravel
there.
road right here.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
In
So-
what year was the road in front of Tangledwood a gravel road?
Well, for sure, 1975.
Yeah.
I wasn't around yet.
No.
And
but
actually,
not-
that road right there, Tanglefoot,
Yeah.
did not go east past Devil's Glen. That was all farm.
I bet you had quite a few people that are now doing pretty well for themselves around the Quad Cities. I bet you had a few of them in your cop car over the years, I'm sure.
Well, we don't let that come out.
No,
too hard.
no,
We don't talk about that.
We don't want to talk about
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
But the answer would be yes.
Yes, the answer is yes, for sure.
The answer is yes.
That's how I moved up so fast.
And Julie, the first time I think I met you, was it through Energy Balls?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you
through
were.
your business.
Yeah, you were purchasing them.
I was a
and then
customer, and then we became.
I
We
know.
kind of started to put mutual
Yeah.
friend connections together.
Yep. Yeah.
How many years you been at it now?
I've just been at it for 4 years, so yeah.
It feels like you-
business owner and.
Are you familiar with what?
I'm not. That's why. Let's hear it.
we do.
Let's hear it.
Do you want to plug it?
Sure, I'll plug it. So about 4 years ago, I was making these energy balls, and it's like oats, peanut butter, honey, like flaxseed, chia seed, all sorts
yeah.
of good things in them.
Oh, yeah.
There's these no bake balls. They're a big pain in the butt to make on your own. Well, I started making them for some friends and family, and then like one day I was like, well, I'm going to put these on Facebook and see if anyone will buy them. And then we had an order for 300 dozen is how many total. Yes.
Holy cow.
So
They make them all by
that's-
hand.
So so quickly from there, every week we put out a new menu and sell them to customers around the Quad Cities. We have some that go off to Des Moines, sell them to TVK and Gravistar.
And they're still made by hand.
Yeah, made by hand, mixed by hand, and made by hand.
Holy cow.
Well,
But
that's why I need
You better
great
have
ball rollers like
you
Ella.
better have a commercial kitchen somewhere.
Well, I know I probably should be the next step.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, while you're building it, these Energy Balls, what I love about them, they're a healthy snack that my kids will eat.
Yeah.
There's so much processed crap out there that your kids just grab out of the pantry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever we have a big sack of Energy Balls in the fridge, they will grab them and
Yeah.
they'll eat them, and it's like a healthy little protein snack.
Yep.
You know, it's great.
Yep.
So you need to order some.
There we go.
I'm going right on.
How do you order them?
Well, we have a Facebook page, but then we also have a website, and you can order every Monday, and it's just called energyballs.com.
Wow. And you're at Gravistar too?
Yeah.
'Cause I
Yeah,
stop by
or you stop in
Gravistar.
Gravistar.
I
Yeah.
stop by Gravistar and pick up coffee all the time.
There you go. I just dropped off a new load today.
Oh, you can just walk right in and buy them.
But why pay retail when you could probably get them wholesale?
There you go.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I don't know.
Well, you want to support Gravistar.
Yeah, support them.
Either one.
Oh,
You
believe
support
me,
Gravistar.
they're supported well.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to get into something that was, since we're in the Quad Cities and there's news happening around the Quad Cities, I figured I'd pick a news topic, and I really want to pick your brain and also get your input on this. So, all these gaming places over in Illinois, and I know you can't speak directly about Illinois, but all these little gaming boutique shops, they're looking at whacking some of the liquor licenses for those places. And I'll tell you what, I've been known to sit in front of a slot machine and press buttons before, and your other hand usually has a beer or a cocktail in it, right? So, what's your take on that? Like, why are they? Wouldn't the city be more like, we need to sell more booze along with these little boutiques?
Well, there's always a struggle with any city. I don't care who it is, about the quality of life of your citizens and what they're ingesting everywhere, all around them, and the question becomes, and obviously Moline has made a decision that they want more of the profit or the operating expenses to be in the food and beverage, not in the gaming. And so they as I read it and as I watched the story, they've given kind of ample notice that they want that to change so that it's more like a restaurant. It's more like a bar, but not that the major provider of profit is not just the gaming. And that's an interesting perspective, particularly as you look at how you need to get revenue, but they've made that choice. And in Iowa, to be classified as a restaurant, more of the sales have to be in the food portion of the business, not the liquor portion of the business, to have different classifications of licenses. So it's just a different perspective.
Yeah.
But it's interesting too, when we switched to gaming back in the early 90s.
Like when the president was in town.
Yeah, the Riverboat Gaming. I was there the first day when Bernie Goldstein opened the Diamond Lady here and the president opened in Davenport. We had Vanna White on opening day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Vanna White and Howard Keel, who was an actor in Showboat, and they did a Showboat theme because that's the whole point of the riverboat. They came in costume, and we had them coming at like a Cinderella carriage down into Leech Park and then into the casino. You know, the thought was at that time that cities would get all this gaming revenue, but more importantly, we always thought that people would, after they left the gaming revenue or the gaming environment, they'd go into the bars or they'd go into the restaurants, and that would flourish that way. And it was never what happened. That model never worked. It always was they'd get on the boat, spend their money, and then back in the car and back home, back to work, wherever.
That's that.
And that's probably still true. It never panned out that way. Never.
Yeah, you know, just for a layman who's not in on all the inner workings of how cities work, you just see the headline, oh, they're getting rid of getting rid of the liquor licenses. I'm like, well, wouldn't that hurt money going into the city? And so I think a lot of people just take something at face value, form a quick opinion, and I wanted to talk to you about it because, like, well, if you were, over there or in charge, like, what are these people actually looking at? And I didn't think of it more from like is it a socio-economic
I would agree,
thing?
Yeah. You know, you certainly don't want so much consumption like on gaming that, like I said, when guys cash their check and they would drink it away, that didn't have very good consequences for a family.
Yeah, it's like a tie-in right here.
And so you're making a judgment about, okay, and then the other thing is what's fascinating, it's like with food trucks. They're a wonderful thing, but food trucks don't pay property taxes to anybody. So if you're a restaurant and a food truck pops across the street in a parking lot, and the first thing you got to do is pay a significant amount of property taxes, and somebody across the street is just pumping out their food in a parking lot.
Yeah.
You go, wait a minute, because the property taxes, at least for a city, is our primary source of revenue, and if you're the restaurateur who's invested in a building and is paying property taxes, and a guy across the street, a food truck's taking away some of your revenue, we got to look at that. You say, well, is that a good thing or a bad thing? So you always have a lens that you're looking at. Is it fair to all concerned, to use our Rotary challenge? How do you find equity? How do you treat everybody relatively the same, or at least give them the same advantage? And you got to think about that as you go about granting licenses or how development occurs.
So it's not just a snap decision. You guys are actually considering all these
as
things.
much as you can.
Yeah.
As much as you can, because lots of things can happen where, people say to us all the time, why are you guys letting all these car washes happen? Well,
that's a good one too.
So
Do you ever wonder that?
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
But they're always crowded. Why?
There's more car washes than bars in town.
yeah,
Seems
so
like.
car washes and coffee shops. Well, the decision on the number of car washes is not ours. The number of grocery stores is not ours. So we allow the zoning to occur that says a certain kind of business can go in these zones, because you just don't want everybody to be able to go everywhere. If a lot opens up next to your house and the guy goes, I'm going to put a coffee shop in there.
Yeah, Dollar General look good right there. Yeah.
So that's why zoning exists, to kind of restrict and protect all the other classifications. But once they're in, like once you're in the zone for restaurants, any restaurant can go in the zone. Once you're in a zone where there's car washes, they can all go in. We don't get to determine that.
Right.
The market determines that. It's no different than your business. How many treadmill heroes are guys that sell treadmills? You prefer only one. But
or like us, and then maybe one or two really crappy ones. That would help business
With
too.
terrible service.
Yeah, with terrible service. Yeah.
Yeah, we had people when Aldi went in, they said, why are you letting another grocery store? We already got Fairway, we already got Hy-Vee. It wasn't our choice. The zone allows for it. And so once the zone is there, then it's up to the marketplace to determine how many there are, and how many people who are in the market determine, can I be successful? So,
But then you get all the complaints about it.
well, people call us and they say, you shouldn't allow that to happen.
Right.
It's like, that's not our choice. Because if they meet all the zoning requirements and they've done all the building requirements, you get to go in there. And you get to flourish or you get to flounder. You're the business person. That's your responsibility, and or your ability to be entrepreneurial and make money.
Yeah.
Speaking of growth, I mean, Julie, you know this better than anybody because you drive by it every day.
Yeah.
I mean, all three of us have literally witnessed that whole TVK complex going from absolute nothing out there to what it is today and what it will be here in the next couple of years.
Oh, yeah, next decade.
And you guys take advantage of it with sports and all kinds of stuff.
With everything. Gas station, restaurants, coffee shops, everything.
What's your favorite? I mean, I know you work out there. Are there like certain areas of that whole complex that you spend more time in than others?
Well, with my kids, just down in the gym area. But if I'm there, like working out, there's like an upstairs, really nice gym there. That's really good.
Are they actually going to make a bike path skywalk?
Yeah.
Like you can ride your bike over the road.
Exactly. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah, will you explain that?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people do have a question on that.
What is
How
that going
did
to
it
look
come
like?
about, and when's it going to be done, and what do you see as the future of that?
It should be done in the fall. It should be done in September. And of course, you know, we've really concentrated heavy of creating separated trails inside the city. That's been an initiative of ours for the last 20 years.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Separated trails that are separated from the road, and they're not necessarily recreation trails like Duck Creek Trail is or the Riverfront Trail. We call those recreational trails. But the trails that you see next to the roadway, like on Tanglefoot, like on Middle Road, they're called separated trails because they're separated from the roadway.
Okay.
And they're typically 10 feet in
The nice
in width.
wide ones that you can.
Yeah. Our connection network is that we're going to take Middle Road, those trails, all the way up. In fact, this summer
that cool?
we will have one on the east side from Hopewell to Forest Grove, where the new Quad City Bank headquarters is going. It'll be on the east side because we've gotten that right away. And then as Middle Road ultimately expands to 4 lanes, we'll probably have one on both sides. That will go into the TBK Sports Complex to service that area, and Forest Grove already has trails that exist now. And then you'll be able to go from one side to the other and come back around. So you can, if you're just a cyclist in the community, you'll be able to go out there, turn around, come back down if you want as part of your route. But the connectivity between the east side and the west side was always something we thought about with the TBK folks. How do we connect people without having to make them go get in their car and go from this side to that side?
Yeah, because there's so many neighborhoods, big neighborhoods around that.
Yeah, and so it's obviously a large project, and we also thought, well, it should be our gateway coming into the north. So as you come in from the interstate, and the interstate's getting done now too,
Right.
so that whole new interchange is going to occur, and there'll be long diamond, tight diamond entrance ramps and exit ramps on the interstate. So as people come in and they turn to come south, they'll see that bridge, and it'll be fashioned a lot like the I-74 bridge. So it'll have a big, we call it a basket handle look, and that'll be our gateway coming into Bettendorf. And we think it's going to be really cool.
It's going to be. Isn't that neat?
Incredible.
Yeah.
And when's the interchange going to be done?
Interchange is about 2 years.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to get into the complex. You won't always be able to leave it for a while because they'll be blocking it off. But we'll always have an entrance in, and then there'll be obviously detours to get you back.
Did I see like a couple new sports bars and other things opening up in there? Because you know what I'm thinking is, after that long explanation, I'm just thinking, wait a minute, you can ride your bike up there, have some beers, enjoy the trails, ride your bike home. Everybody has a good, fun, safe time.
Yeah, that wasn't the objective, by the way. Beer is always on your mind. I can see that, Joe.
Well, no, it just, you know, there's so many cool places to hang out up in that area.
Yeah, no,
right?
It's so cool.
And I bet the bar owners are loving the idea of a bike path.
And you look at ORA and you look at Quad City Bank, the proprietors out there long for daytime business because the complex works well on the weekends, but it's tight, you know, on the weekdays. Well, now with the ORA there, which is an incredible environment.
What a building.
Oh, it's huge.
And Quad City Bank is going to move, I think 250 people out there daily. And then we think there'll be more living out there, and that connectivity will only create more opportunity for people to be pedestrians and or bikers to connect there and then connect with the rest of the city.
Great.
When you look at Top or Iron Tea, and then right next to it, there's that little farmhouse and a little bit of land there.
Yeah.
Is that just a locally owned person that just doesn't want to sell it and just saying, or?
It's a family that has owned a bunch of property throughout the northern tier of the city, and I think that it's probably for sale, but
Not on sale.
It hasn't been hasn't gotten any takers yet.
Yeah.
So
it's an opportunity for somebody.
that's right.
Energy Ball headquarters.
There we go.
Right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just a fascinating thing to see. And I was talking with there's another social media creator. You probably know him. His name's Max. He's a big basketball coach guy. He's always up there creating content. And I was chatting with him a couple months ago. I haven't really had a chance to connect with him since. But he was telling me, because he's from like the Denver, Colorado area, and he's like, people in this area in the Quad Cities do not realize how incredible this facility is, because we don't have any comps.
Thanks, Ella.
He's like, I've come from places where that looks really. What are
That
these,
looks
Ella?
good.
So they're mushrooms and they're stuffed with Italian sausage, cheese, garlic butter, all that good stuff. Super popular, super
Awesome.
good.
Super popular.
Good choice.
Did you check with my dietitian? Apparently not.
This is gluten-free mushroom here.
There we go.
Yes, absolutely. You guys enjoy. Let me know what you think about it.
Thanks, Ella.
Okay,
Thanks, Ella.
this is our first food review.
It's a treat.
I don't think I've ever had this, so this is awesome.
Dig in.
It's kind of fun to try new things.
Are you feeding Parker in this deal? You need to.
Yeah, I'm feeding Parker.
He should be.
He's getting paid, or he's getting fed too.
Yeah.
He's getting paid too, but
Yeah.
he's getting fed. Parker, make sure you grab a plate.
So, Decker, where do you see the city maybe long after you're gone, maybe even we're gone, the next 2-3 decades?
Well, the long-term plan is for us to annex to the north. Currently, our northern boundary is almost 1 mile north of Indiana, the street that you live on.
Yep.
It's just about a mile north.
Oh, it goes that Bettendorf goes
yeah,
that far up.
Yeah. It's actually North Scott School District,
Yeah.
most of it. So it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
My house is.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyways, the plan is to go all the way up to Territorial Road, which is Argo Corners. And our border on the east would be Wells Ferry Road.
Yeah.
And up to Territorial and over to Utica and down Utica.
When you say that, are you talking when you go all the way north out of town?
Yep.
There's that bar
Yeah.
little restaurant.
Argo, that on the corner.
When you say
Yeah.
Argo Corner,
Yeah.
that
little burg.
Bettendorf
was
goes
called,
all the way there.
No, that's where we have our future plans for expansion are that far north. So
Bettendorf can just buy more land.
well, we don't buy the land. You annex the land in. There's a process in development that the city goes out and begins an annexation process, and the people who live out there either have to come in voluntarily, or there's a process where if you wanted to take the land in terms of moving it in, you could, but that's a long process. You prefer obviously voluntary annexation. So a good example of the most recent voluntary annexation, the Windmillers family has purchased ground just east of and north of the old Forest Grove School, the one home schoolhouse.
Yep.
They bought that ground and came to us and said, now, we own it, we want to move it into the city, because it was county, it was not incorporated. There's a process by which that happens. Then you have to go through a process with our city council, and then it has to go to what's called the City Development Board at the state to approve it being annexed into the city, because then you're able to tax it as a city property. Otherwise, it's taxed at the county level because it's not inside of corporate city limits. So the same thing would happen to the north eventually, and you would move to annex that in, and hopefully you would have voluntary property owners that would say, we want to become in the city now. And that
There's a
creates...
lot that goes into
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it's a lot that goes into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not easy. Then,
Right.
as part of
Yeah.
that process, the city has to plan, and you have to guarantee services for that, like sewer,
Yeah.
and water,
Yeah.
and roads. So all of that has to occur, or will occur within a certain period of time.
Yeah.
So
Decker, when like I love all the growth that's happening out by TBK because that's where my house is, that's where my kids spend the time. But I know other citizens will say, well, you know, what about the rest of the city? And I happen to know there are some really cool things going on in the rest of the city. What are some of the things you're excited about?
So, you know, when you go back to what you said, what did it look like 45 years ago, 35 years ago? You might have known this because you saw part of it. As the city got older and the downtown morphed into like the gaming facility on the former JIK site, the downtown proper itself was old and kind of decaying. And so
you're talking right down there by like the aisle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And where the Waterfront Convention Center is now.
Yeah.
That was all old buildings that had been built some, you know, in the 1900s, 1910, 1920. A lot of those old buildings were not well cared for, and nobody was making any investment. So the city, along with our development partner, the Bettendorf Development Corporation, began to start to acquire some of those properties to be able to redevelop them. And that's what happened to the site for the waterfront. It's what happened where the Central Credit Union is now. That was owned by Lindquist Ford, and there were some small, tiny property houses there that were old. All of that kind of gets gentrified, redeveloped. We were partners in all of that to try to make that happen, and it took a long time for that to occur. Over 20 years ago, almost 25 years ago, where the whole set of retail that was down where the Riverside Grill used to be, where IMEG is now, and within the decorating studio, all of that was just old buildings, and that all got raised, and then development agreements occurred to create something more than what it is today, and it's obviously very cool. You look at where the Bridges lofts are, and the TBK bank building itself across from City Hall.
Yeah.
They're both three or four story buildings now with commercial building and apartment rentals. We had 500 police calls to the old hotel there. If you remember the Twin Bridges hotel, it wasn't exactly the nicest hotel in town, and we saved ourselves 500 police calls. The cops were able to eat donuts again.
There we go.
So all of that occurred, but it occurred because we helped either in a tax increment financing form or assisted with grants to get all that redeveloped. And so there's more coming now on the west side of the bridge as the I-74 bridge got built and all that property that was there got knocked down. The transformation of that ground, both to the public and the private sector, will allow new development to occur there. And that's already in play, and it's working its way through. The old Village Inn has been acquired. The Dollar Store has been acquired. A bunch of those properties have been acquired now by developers, and we're going to work with them to create something pretty special down there.
Yeah.
Do you boat?
I used to, but no, not anymore.
Do you boat?
No.
No.
I get on people's boats, but no, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The driver.
Yeah. You'll get on people's boats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thoughts on the mushrooms?
Oh, they're amazing. Great choice.
Ella, wonderful.
I know, and I've never had them here.
I've never had them. I didn't know they existed.
Perfect.
Yeah, this will become a regular staple, and
Great, I'm glad to hear
Make
it.
sure when you come in, guys, you say the real Quad Cities sent you and eat some mushrooms.
that's right. That's right.
The reason why I bring that up is like you look at Bettendorf, and there again, I'm a layman. There's so much riverfront property in a beautiful area of the river, but to me it just seems like not a lot of it is developed, where I'm like, boy, I'm surprised, and there again, I don't know, but I'm surprised there's not more boat restaurants that you could pull into right off the Mississippi, because it's such a big boating community here.
Well, and most of the ground that's on the riverfront in Bettendorf is owned by private development. It's owned by private companies.
Why don't they develop it? Wouldn't there be a huge money maker
if you look at what's east of the Isle complex, there's River Gulf Grain, which is a
So like if you go from if you're at the Isle and you're heading towards LeClaire on the river, all of that in there.
All of that is all owned by businesses, corporations, people who are doing business down there, all the tank farms for gasoline that come off of barges that get trucked for us to be able to use fuel, that's all owned privately. It's not owned publicly. So there's very little public land. Then you get up to the border with Riverdale, and all that's owned by Arconic, formerly Alcoa.
Yeah.
Well, if you've got like private developers that own that land, like let's say if I owned it or if you owned it, right? Wouldn't you look at it and you'd go, oh man, this could be like a bitchin' boat bar or whatever it is, or maybe there's a reason why that's not happening.
Well, we're in Iowa too. Unfortunately, you got 3 good months of boating, probably.
Well,
is that why some of the restaurants on the river don't really make it if that's their mainstay?
Probably.
Well, and if you think of it, we're a working river, so a lot of the businesses that utilize the river as part of their transportation method for product. So River Gulf grain is where lots of farmers from this area take their grain to put it in a silo that puts it into barges and ships them downstream to the markets. That's a big operation. It utilizes the river, and you know, those guys pay taxes too, very handsomely. Generally.
Yeah.
All of those gas terminals down there, that's all the gas that comes up from the Gulf to us, so we have gas supply. It's done by barge, not by truck. It gets trucked from there to the gas stations. All of that is privately owned and is making money and paying taxes.
Well, then that makes sense. It's like, why would they develop it into some fancy strip mall when they're already making money with it and it's serving a purpose to keep the gears of the Quad Cities turning?
Yeah. So most of that ground is owned by others, not by the city. And trying to acquire it would be monumental.
That's an answer.
We've acquired as much as we can, but it's not ours to. And then again, this is a great debate that you just kind of brought us into. What should be public? What should be private? And whose interest are you serving? And you know, the private sector drives a lot of the marketplace, and we have to be respectful of that. You know, that's how things move in this country. We're a capitalistic country, and having business move is good for the economy.
Yeah, you never think of that. You know, what it actually takes to get those barges up and down the river and all the cargo that they're carrying. And,
yeah.
And then you just got some yahoo like me. It's like, you know what they ought to do? They ought to open up a Pelican bar. Yeah, let's open up. Let's get rid of all these barges.
Be fun. Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's because there's a couple restaurants over the years that have been down on the river, which it's a neat concept.
Oh,
you know, pull up and. But we also got to remember this ain't the Lake of the Ozarks either.
I know. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I know for our listeners with young kids, Decker, I have people ask us all the time, whether it's rumor or maybe it has happened, if like one of those big water parks are coming in out by TVK.
I heard that scuttlebutt too.
Yeah. I always say, and they're bringing a Trader Joe's with them too.
Oh my goodness, is that your other top question? Is
exactly.
Trader Joe's? I want to put that rumor to rest too. Everyone has the reason of why it's not in Bettendorf.
You know, like I talked about before, when Aldi's moved in to that spot on Devil's Glen Road, somebody said to us, we don't need another grocery store there. Okay. Aldi's is one of the biggest grocery stores in the world, and they're a parent company. And this is what we say to people. Don't you think those guys who probably own most of the grocery stores in the world do a little research about where the buying patterns are?
Yeah.
And they kind of know where the zip code is?
Yeah.
And they understand what people there will tolerate or not tolerate? They know that better than we know it.
Right.
So it's the same thing with Trader Joe's.
Yeah. They're doing their research.
They're doing their research. And I actually got to play golf with a guy in Hawaii a couple years ago. We went there on vacation. And this guy was a executive for Pottery Barn.
Okay.
And so I said to him, have you ever thought about like a Pottery Barn in the Quad Cities? And he goes, 52722.
Wow.
And I go, yeah, that's our zip code. He goes, yeah. You said you were from Bettendorf. And he said, we don't need to put one there yet because your buyers are going to buy with us in Oak Brook and or online. And so we don't need a retail presence yet. We may want one, but today it's not there. So I was blown away
Yeah.
that he knew that as we were walking along playing golf together. Rattled off our zip code,
Yeah.
So they do that. Back to the water park.
Yeah, water park.
There have been a number of guys kicking tires with that issue, but nobody has brought it to fruition yet.
Okay.
So again,
Does that kind of like ruffle the feathers of the city or the Y with the place down there by
No.
Splash Landing? That wouldn't affect it.
no, we
I'm
don't
talking
think so
like
at all.
big, like
Yeah,
Kalahari,
yeah,
like those.
yeah.
But,
Well, and we've heard a couple theories. One is that those guys have their market is up in the Dells, and they have a significant market here that goes there.
Yeah.
So why would they split that market? And secondly, the amount of cost to elevate it, they've already done their numbers. It must not pan out yet. Otherwise, they probably would do it.
When you say to elevate it,
I mean, to create and operate it.
to actually get it launched. Yeah.
They've done that research to tell them
Yeah.
we're going to need this many players, this many people every weekend to make this happen. Now, maybe in 10 years or 5 years, maybe what we do at the TBK, maybe that generates enough for them.
right,
But-
to come. Thank you,
Oh,
Ella.
Ella coming through.
Thank you.
Carolina.
Wow.
Perfect.
What time we got to be out of here? Because this will take me like 3 hours.
Whenever we want.
Yeah.
I don't have some network telling me what I need to do.
Yeah,
That's the
apparently.
beauty part. As long as the camera battery's charged,
Yeah.
we're good to go.
Did everything
Fine.
all looking good for you?
Yeah, it looks great.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks,
This is
Ella.
great. Thank you, Ella.
So, the rumor's still there. We hear
Yeah.
it. We've talked to
Yeah.
some of the folks that have interest. But like anything, sometimes they come in and they talk to you and they ask a lot of questions, but they don't pull the trigger because they're not ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Or maybe the market's changed. Maybe
Right.
interest rates have changed. Maybe the whole thing with what's going on with the war and all that
Yeah.
stuff
A lot of
has
factors.
changed.
It is, there again, it's an interesting way to look at it because you're right. If you've got ties to the Wisconsin Dells, you're looking at the Quad Cities and you're going, well, based on our data, this percentage of Quad Cityans visit the Wisconsin Dells once or twice a year, whatever it is, and also the average person probably only goes to a water park once or twice a summer anyway, based
exactly.
upon busy schedule
Yep.
with kids and everything else.
Right.
So yeah, they probably are
Right.
looking at like, why do we need to?
Right.
You guys are coming up north to spend money
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
We made a statement earlier about the sandwich being as good as the Chick-fil-A. But think about that. Everybody says to us, why doesn't Chick-fil-A come out to TBK?
Right.
Maybe they don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing just fine where they're at with one location. You start to think about, look at after COVID, the restaurants that went to, instead of full-time day and night models, that went to either breakfast only and lunch and they're done, or dinner only. I talked to the guy that runs Trattoria, and he said during COVID he couldn't support because they weren't getting the business. And then he made the decision after COVID to just go to afternoon, evening, because he didn't have to have a double shift of employees. He could be the cook himself
Yeah.
from say 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. He's in there a 5-hour window. He cut his expenses, making as much or more money than he did before. It's a better model. So people figure these things out.
Yeah.
They know how they make money, when they make money. The casino knows by the probably the hour.
Oh,
Right.
where they're
yeah.
up and down.
Yeah.
And sophisticated business folks know that too. They know
Right.
what days. That's why people close on Mondays or they close on Sundays.
Right.
They understand what the days that make me money, the times that make me money. And so if I'm not making any money there, I close. I cut my costs.
Joe, what's your favorite part about Bettendorf? Coming into the city, what's made you guys land here, stay here?
It's funny, growing up in Wilton,
Yeah.
which Wilton was interesting, and it still is. Wilton is kind of an anomaly. It's a small town, but it's like very self-sustaining, right? There's a doctor's office, there's a vet, there's a couple gas stations, there's mechanics, there's everybody, grocery store. So I came into this kind of whole deal with just a big city,
Yeah.
growing up for me, a trip to the Quad Cities meant Showbiz Pizza.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we'd take the family van and Showbiz Pizza,
Yeah.
we'd take Highway 6 all the way
Yep.
in and turn around and go right back home.
Yep.
But it is, what I'm learning, especially with this show, is there are so many small business owners in the Quad
Yeah.
Cities on both sides of the river.
Yep.
Because we're getting people reaching out to us and we're recommending, like
Yep.
tons of people recommend, oh, you guys should
Yeah,
stop
try
in
this
here, here.
person, yeah.
And we're hearing about all these places. Like I had a parrot sanctuary reach out to me, you know, and just things you wouldn't even think about. And like there's so many ways that you can have a business in the Quad Cities and it will be supported for the most part, but you got to work at it.
Oh, yeah.
Because oh my gosh, there's
Yeah.
the other thing that I've learned, and I've said it 100 times at this point over the last 5 months, this town isn't that big. A lot of people think the Quad Cities is this huge metropolis. But in reality, there's just a nice size of people that are doing a whole lot to keep both sides of the river cooking. You know, and so it's been fun navigating through that too, and kind of just getting to know all the business owners. I think that's great. You if you own a small business yourself, you immediately have that bond with someone because you're like,
for sure.
I get it.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
Know what you're
Some
going
days
through.
you're the hammer, some days you're the nail.
Yeah.
And I bet that was extremely tough from an administration standpoint, especially because you guys have all these relationships for 30, 40, 50 years around the Quad Cities. And now all of a sudden you got to go tell, maybe not directly, but you got to go tell those people, hey, you need to button up shop here and you can't run your business. That had to have been really tough on a personal level too. You probably had a lot of friends that had businesses that during that whole deal with whatever we went through a few years back. That was a weird deal.
Yeah, you know, we don't. Again, the city doesn't really, as an entity, we don't tell people how they run their business. You know, they got to get permits when they have things that need to get inspected. But you know, what they choose to do in terms of their hours, their operations, it really isn't a city issue, and you don't want it to be.
Yeah.
You want the marketplace to perform like the marketplace should. People flourishing into your store, not flourishing into your store, whatever reason, and you figure that out. And those that are really good at it, they do really well. Those that maybe aren't, or the market changes on them, they didn't adapt in time.
Yeah, that's a big point right there. Is adapting in time, because the business models, especially for small businesses, it ebbs and flows, it changes. And I mean, we experienced that up at the TBK Center when I had my store up there.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
You know, it was on paper at the time when it was being built out.
Yeah.
And you're meeting with the developers and you're like, are you telling me every parent is going to drive right by my store going in and out of the TBK Center, and I'm going to have a retail store that sells fitness equipment? These are all health conscious people for the most part.
Yeah.
They're either going to work, whatever.
Yeah.
And it simply didn't work out because just the thing that nobody realized at the time, and it's different now, right? Because it's growing, it's getting deeper roots up there. But at the time, you don't realize people were just trying to navigate their way in and navigate their way out, and amidst all the chaos of the sports stuff, and TBK was still trying to get their sea legs underneath them to figure out how. So it's of nobody's fault. No. But we could have easily signed another long lease and everything else, but at the time it was like, you know what? This was a good experiment.
Yep.
We did well enough to, be fine, but it was like, I don't know if we're necessarily a good fit here. And there is a certain fit of business up in that area.
Yep.
I don't think the TBK Center as a whole is known or thought of as retail quite yet. Now, great places to go get food and drink, for activity, for all kinds of friendship time and all that. But it is wild. I think there's been a few businesses that just, of no fault to them, it didn't quite, the recipe wasn't quite right. I think that'll change with that other side. Is that right? I mean, are there talks of more retail and things like that up there? Or is that not really the goal anyway?
Again, the market drives it, not the city.
Right.
We can get set for it, but the market will drive it. And you can plan it all day long. But plans are plans, So you think about this, when Doug Kratz came to us and said, I'd like to build a sports complex here.
And for context, Doug Kratz, is he the president of TBK Bank?
Yeah, he's the primary owner. Not the bank, not the bank.
No, the complex.
The complex.
Yes.
Yeah, when Doug did that, he had just come off a trip to Europe with his grandson, who played soccer, and he was enamored with an indoor soccer complex. And he goes, why don't we have one of those? So because they cost about $40 or $50 million.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
as Julie knows, we were already on the heels of losing close to $500,000 a year for our fitness center. So, you know, we're going to build
the old Bettendorf Light Fitness Center.
Yeah. Because there's so many, again, the market changed. And so many small fitness centers came into being, and the why
Think of all the little gyms and the boutique. Yeah.
You know, all these boutique gyms that are out there. And
we know it when they were all like, we're going to open up a gym. Like, great, how can we help?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm there.
How can we help?
And so when Doug talked about that, we were like, well, you want to do it, that's fine. We're not doing it. And he goes, well, I'm going to need some help because I'm going to put roads in here. I'm going to build this complex. So we sat down and had when I say sat down, over 5 or 6 months, took his vision and kind of crafted our way into it. And then he grabbed some partners, and they've created that thing. But the bulk of that money is private money. It's not city money.
Wow.
So that took a lot of cojones to go out there and pull the trigger on that thing, and make it successful. And he's a bright guy. He's a strong businessman. He knows when things make money. He knows when they don't.
Yep.
For example, the indoor volleyball wasn't working. He jettisoned that pretty quick and got some baseball stuff in there that picked up the freight. So the city could never do that. We could never move that fast. It's just not the way we are. We're not built for that.
No.
And you don't want us doing that.
Nope.
And the only reason we were really into the fitness center in the first place was that market had not come into play where all those small gyms were there. The Y didn't even exist when we were in the fitness center business. The only Y in the area was downtown Davenport Y. And Moline had a Y, but in terms of what was in Bettendorf.
Yeah.
That's the reason we got into that market.
Right.
And the irony of that was a tennis club that got started back in '73, I think, or '74, and flourished for a very short period of time, and then they were folding camp because they weren't making any money.
Pickleball came around.
Pickleball tennis wasn't quite as cool anymore.
So the city picked off the building relatively cheap and created this fitness center, and we flourished for the first 10 or 15 years
that was where
of
everyone
that place.
went.
But then the market changed, and the market went away from us. And so we as a government then said, if others are in the marketplace and others are providing the service, we don't need to provide it. So we pulled away.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Doug Kratz? I'm sure you have. Many times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever met Doug was when the center was being built, and somehow he got my name and wanted my opinion, or at least he thought he did. But I didn't really have a whole lot to offer on the whole thing. But I met him, and I sat in on a developer meeting that I had no business being in on, and I walked out and I thought, this guy's like the Quad Cities Vince McMahon. Like he had this aura to him where he's just like, he knew what he wanted to do, and it didn't seem like there was a ton of roadblocks in his way because he had a lot of resources, or still does. And but I really admire somebody like that because you know what, if that doesn't succeed, well, that's a pretty big black eye to try to recover from.
Yeah.
So it's so neat to see it where it's at right now.
And Julie's dad is like that. Rob was a great,
same deal.
a great entrepreneur. Great, could envision things. But
Takes a lot of risk.
he had to go out. He had to go out and buy the ground, maybe borrow the money to buy the ground, and bet on the come that this will happen in 15 years, or I can make it happen in 15 years or 20 years, so that you admire people who take risk.
Yeah.
And they take a risk at a big level. And if it pays off for them, everybody goes, yeah, that guy, he's really good. If it doesn't pay off, everybody goes, well, he should have known better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy to take for granted some of these bigger companies like a Mel Foster.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's been around for 100 years. Anybody who's alive right now has grown up around Mel Foster.
Yep.
But I don't think a lot of people stop to think about how much has happened because of that, because of your dad and what he did to build the business and take it over and really expand it and grow it.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing.
It is. That's what, even when Decker was talking about how right in front of Tangled Wood right here was a gravel road. Well, I remember, when 53rd Street was complete gravel with nothing on the sides, and that's where my dad had the vision that to build out here this way in Bettendorf. And who would have guessed? Like, look at it today.
Would you and your siblings get in the car and go drive by projects and different things? I bet it was an education your whole childhood.
All the time. Still do today. Yeah.
Do you remember any certain projects that people might drive past it today and go, oh yeah, that's always been here, and you're like, man, I remember when we built that? Or
probably a lot. Just right down 53rd and the roundabout was always a big one, which will hopefully continue to grow, that roundabout on 53rd. So.
What do you guys think of your food from Tangled Wood?
It's amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Tangled Wood does
Ella, good picks here.
Good.
I'll tell you, if you're not coming here for the burger, you're sleeping, right? Is this even a menu item?
No, actually, I customized it for you.
You gave me a double too, didn't you? I think it's a double. Yeah, thank you.
How we do things here.
Wow.
Yeah, our sweet potato fries are great too.
I do love these. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are great to throw back into the air fryer. Do you ever throw leftover fries in the air fryer?
All the time.
Do you have an air fryer?
We have one, but I'm not a connoisseur.
I have two. I love them.
I don't operate any machinery in our house.
Yeah.
I don't know if the air fryer is actually good for you.
I know. I just read something on it.
Yeah,
I was like,
I know.
Maybe I don't need two in my house.
I know.
I'm gonna avoid that art.
I think it's best.
That's one thing. Do you go through? Do you look at scroll through reels and stuff? What form of social media do you look at?
I'm on Facebook mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same, and I get caught up in reels. Oh, you should see my algorithm on Facebook. Just all the different people I follow. I follow a lot of the kooks like me. I love a good conspiracy. I'm into all those kind of things. It's so funny. I'll mess with my wife's algorithm on her phone.
Yeah, and then
because I bring up these topics.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you talking about? So sometimes I'll pop on her phone and I'll open up TikTok and I'll go like a lot of the stuff that I like, or I'll search them. That way it's popping up in her feed.
And it shows up everywhere. It is awful.
Yeah. So I'll tweak the algorithm a little bit so she knows what the heck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Are you on social media at all?
Not much. I'm an old guy. I'm on Facebook a little bit.
Do you look at Facebook with your index finger?
Of course.
Okay, not your thumb.
No. Oh no. I'm pretty methodical.
Pretty good. You're on it.
Can I tell you guys a few things we got going on with the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
Selfishly, I got to get to a few points of business here.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of the cool things that we're going to start doing, and I love this when it gets warm out, is garage sales. I love. Do you go garage sailing?
I used to all the time. I don't as much because it was so fun when the kids were younger, because we always needed toys that I was not about to purchase.
Yes,
and,
the next ball bat or the next the next helmet or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a garage sale guy?
Not at all.
No, I didn't think you were going to go perusing through other people's things. But anyway, I love going to a garage sale.
Okay.
So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be going to a garage sale hopefully once a week, and we're going to live stream it on the Real Quad Cities.
That's awesome.
So we've got this really cool mobile setup. So if you're hosting a garage sale, let the Real Quad Cities know, and we could either come hang out at your garage sale, or we might just pop in and buy something from you.
That's cool.
And so it's really neat. Have you ever heard of this app called Whatnot? So it's a live auction website. So in other words, Decker, you could pull out your phone and you could say, okay guys, I got some of these old baseball cards sitting around my house, and I'm going to start the bidding right here for 30 seconds, and people bid on it and they buy it right through the app live.
Okay.
Really?
Just like a live stream auction, anything you want.
Wow.
And there's guys doing really good with this. Well, what I thought would be fun, we go buy the garage sale stuff, the cool stuff, and then we turn right around that night and we do a live Whatnot resell of the same stuff we just bought, and just be completely transparent. Like, I bought it for $1, and yes, it's worth $30. So here you go. And so we thought we'd have a lot of fun with that, and that's a good, fun way to bring in some more guests.
Yep.
There's a gal in Bettendorf, and you got to get to know this gal. Her name's Trisha Taggart.
Okay.
So Facebook Marketplace, she's like an expert at that. So she goes and buys and sells stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Like she'll buy a cute little dresser or something for nothing and then clean it up, and it's actually something kind of cool.
Okay.
And so I met her because what she does for people is inevitably we've all got some stuff sitting around our house that you're like, I want to get rid of this, but I don't necessarily want to give it away because I mean it's got some value to it, and then it just sits, right? It's in like thing purgatory. Well, what Trisha does, she comes in, she's like, I will take that, I will sell it for you, and then I'll just give you a cut of it, and it's out of your life, and then you'll get an envelope every month.
There you go.
So about once a month, Trisha comes over to our place. She takes a van load of stuff, and she drops off an envelope. Here, I sold some stuff for you, and I don't have to touch it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
I like that.
It's really cool. You don't have to touch it. She just comes over. She goes, "How about this? Nah. How about this? Oh yeah, take that. Oh yeah. How about that? Take that. Yeah."
Oh wow.
And so anyway, I just kind of wanted to. She doesn't really even. She has a business, like that's what she does. But she's a case in point. Stay-at-home mom, entrepreneur, just hustling with whatever free time you got. Yep. And I just love people like that. So anyway, we're going to be doing something like that.
Oh, cool.
And then, have you guys heard of VIP Transportation, the big limo company in town? Lynn and her husband Tom own that. They're over on the west side of Davenport. Okay. They also own they own the print shop or the print store. Okay. Not far from 5 Points. Anyway, they've been there for like 30 years. They have become the official transportation of the Real Quad Cities. So next Friday.
You mean I could have had somebody pick me up and drive me here?
You could have.
So my limo driver could have been off for the afternoon?
He could have taken the day off.
Holy crikey.
So what we're doing with this, it's super cool. So next Friday, we're doing a QC VIP tour, and we're going to stop at 3 selective bars from around the Quad Cities live with a group of people in the limo.
You took that idea from us from the Celebrity Lunch, where we have that, where you can buy like 8 bars in one night. And we sell that every year for
what? I'll give it to you.
$3,000.
Cool.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I took that from you.
Good thinking.
Yeah,
it is.
So anyway, that's
a
kind
great
of
idea,
it's
and it's a lot of fun. We've done it,
and it's all going to be live streamed.
That's cool.
So
do you know where you're going yet?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
So
you want to wait?
Well, I'll give you one because I really wanted to support an Illinois bar too. I didn't want to just go to 3 Bettendorf bars, right? So we're going to hit up Mulligan's. I just met with the ladies who own Mulligan's, Ray and Kristen, this morning, and they're like, swing in, hang out. So we're going to swing in there for one, and then we got a couple other places we're going to stop at. So
yeah, you probably ought to cut the broadcast off about 11:30. Things
we know how it goes
get a little shaky then.
You start
Plus,
to look
that
at
could
the
be
lens
evidence.
with one
That could
eye.
be evidence. You never know.
Yeah, it'll be great though. It'll be like a live stream from 4 to 7 p.m.
Yeah,
that way we still got a little bit of daylight. So anyway, we've got a lot of other things going on, but this has been fun.
Yeah,
guys, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You got some administrative stuff to do.
Yeah, I got to get back to work. There's somebody's going to get something somewhere.
What do you got the rest of the day, Julie?
Oh, not much. Usually all my balls go out on Thursday, so I'm pretty home free Thursday afternoon.
You got a 3-day weekend?
Yep.
Nice. Every weekend?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
One last time, how do people order some Energy balls for their family, for their kids, healthy snacks with good protein in them? Summer's coming.
Awesome.
Your kids can't live off goldfish, guys. So how do they order some stuff?
Every Monday, go to the website www.energyballs.com.
Okay.
Find it.
Put in a big order.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Use promo code DeckerPlane
Yeah.
at checkout.
For an extra 5%.
Thank you, Tangled. You guys were great hosts. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to do this every Thursday.
That's cool.
And then we're going to be doing the nightlife stuff here at Tangled.
Julie and I are coming back every Thursday?
Yeah, all you got to do is just pop in every Thursday. Yeah.
I can't wait.
So anyway, thank you guys being so gracious with your time. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And thanks, Quad Cities. And like we like to say, keep it real.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. Good work.